Hello and welcome. It is 9:57 a.m. and the 12th day of January 2021. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. All right, and risk reward management job number one. I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. I'm going to go over Bitcoin. I'm going to move into hockey and that of NHL player, the San Jose Sharks, Evander Kane, who is in the news today and yesterday. All right, so let's begin. We've had this big decline, seeing price action going down from 42,000 down to a little over 30, losing near $12,000, and that's the first time in history, to my knowledge, that Bitcoin has lost more than $10,000 in a little under 36 hours or under 2 days. With that being said, that's of course because the numbers are so much higher. They don't mean as much at 12,000 in the percentage scale as, of course, it did before when it was at 20, because that's like a big move then. And obvious taken away. Let's move into the chart action. I drew in this Fibonacci last night and unable, as it topped at around 2 o'clock in the morning hourly stamp, to get above or even really near, although noticeably below, I suppose, the 37,000-ish area of Fibonacci that I drew in last night. As it was coming back to where it came from on the sessions at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and even 7, holding, and well, at that point is within the 18, it obviously broke below that point and down towards this line. So how this sell-off is going to react, because as mentioned, for this, at least on the short-term time frame, to be a failed breakdown, then you're going to need to see really two things occur. One, it's got to get above, hold, and stay above this significant level. It hasn't even touched it yet. And two, it's got to hold and stay above 61.8% from this low to this high. This high comes in of that 36,639, and then the lows are barely above 30,000. I've already mathematically calculated the Fibonacci, but yeah, it does look like it's a 61.8% down move, and sure enough, it mathematically is. So the intraday move numbers are as follows, as we can see in here, but the 38.2% level at 32,555. Well, this intra session low that's just closing now, 32,479. So it's Pierce X or less, or not quite, but pretty much right on that level, almost a perfect hit. But what's important now, of course, is to hold and stay above this level. Of course, it's established this level, but it's established at the area you would have expected to do so at. And if you were to see weakness, breakdown status amongst this area of price, then that's telling you that this move is real, or at least not over as of yet. This is a lower high rally. It's first been established in there. And not only as you see this breaking down, would you expect it to go towards a previous low barely above 30,000, but then ultimately after that break it and then make a new leg lower, and we'd be talking into the 27,000 areas in which we came from. I really have to say the next one would be about 27.2, just based on that. And I reported Fibonacci before, and those numbers reported would of course be significant as well. And that is the Bitcoin information for this morning. Now let's switch over to Theta coin, or Theta token, as it's priced in at 5,290 Satoshi against the Bitcoin. And I got these Fibonacci levels that I've drawn in way long time ago still. No need to delete them. Yeah, it pierced higher on here, but not really. It's pretty much the same matching high. And relatively perfect support here. This low on this session here is 4,568. That's only 31 extra basis points, not even 1% lower than this line that it pierced extra upon such. But it pierced a lot more in today's session so far, as it has rallied, taken 5 days to get up to this point, grinding its way to the upside, but making a high not seen since it was breaking down on January the 7th. and breaking out towards on Christmas Day. So therefore, it gets up above that level. The high in today's session comes in that of 5,853, which noticeable pierce above, uptrend line. Okay, so the big thing when I see a move like this, we've been in this downtrend, which of course has been making this higher low, and you expect it to make a higher low when you have any major fantastic move. So you make the higher low, and anytime you get any type of rally, when you've had this kind of decent decline anyway, like I mentioned with Bitcoin, how is it going to fare within its retracement? And it's not the greatest of retracements yet, but it's all we got to start off with right now because it still could potentially go a little bit higher. I can make two mathematical Fibonacci calculations that I see that's not shown here. One from this high to this low. So what's this retrace? 38.2%. That's what my blind eye shows to me. And it can still go higher because we know if it breaks out, it'd be going to the 61.8 levels, the next key target level. But the Fibonacci I'll follow thereafter it with is from this low to this high. And then that's, of course, on the retracement down within today's even shorter term session. So high is 7,876. I'm going to divide that by the low. And the low in here on January the 8th comes in that of 4,568 with the numbers on the top of the screen. So therefore, the 38.2 is, didn't mean to show that. That's okay. 38.2, 56.25 or 56.25 is that first key level, which is, well, coincides with this. So yeah, it pierced extra in that, the 38.2. Therefore, 61.8 is in at 6,396. So 6,500-ish or so. If it's able to get above this, I would be expecting to make a move which would get a little bit above the 18 average of highs or retest the previous high from Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. And therefore, those are the levels in that. And then just out of curiosity, the 23.6% level is basically 5,200. So let's shorten out this time frame. 5,200 representing, what was this level of resistance? So yada yada, it did its thing. It was only luck that it resisted like it did. However, that's pretty big when we look at this now. So we resist 52, and we did for quite some time while it was just staying within the 18 average, resisting the highs and supporting the lows. Pretty much a flat sideways 18. Interesting period at the 15 stamp where it got above it and closed within it. But what was great is how it followed through. So now how it's reacting within it. And if it can hold and stay within the highest levels, right now within the 18 average of highs, and at least over the next 3, 4, 5 periods, if it's going to go sideways, let the lows catch up through it with it rising in price, that would be just keeping this setup fantastic. But now that you see that it's had to move up, come back down as it has done such, you see it leaving in this shorter term time frame, this period into the next couple, leaving 5,400 change. That's telling me that this is probably going to break this and, of course, reach that next level that I was mentioning from before. Okay. So that's as it goes there. However, key low to key high. And let's even move this to the hourly term now, because we're looking at it from this low to this high. It's had a decent amount of time as it has been correcting within this, because it got there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now it's after 10. So that's like 9 hours or so of hanging in there. Had a little bit of a chance to rally at 3, but it ultimately failed and made a new low. It has then since came close to this high, or doing its attempt to hold and stay within the 18 average band. Yes, it's been 3 periods or so just going low, but the support it first established, it held on its second test, and as long as it holds that, it will continue to hold and stay within this 18. And of course, if it doesn't stay within it, and we break down below this, you see it 50-80-ish or so, breaking below 51. Then now we're starting to talk about, okay, do we believe this rally? And the Fibonacci that I'm going to use is from the same lows and these highs that come in at 5,853. Or is it the same lows? No, it's not the same lows. It's these lows in here. So 58.53 is the high. Maybe it is the same lows. And the lows, yeah, the one from January the 8th, 45.68, yeah, the one that I had. So high divided by low, to the square root of these numbers, multiply the low. And the 38.2% number is the big one of the must hold, which would come in at the easy to remember 5,000 number. Now, of course, if it goes down there and it goes to 48, it can still go down to 40, rebound back up to 5,000, hold stay, especially because Fibonacci Pierce is extra as it is. But 5,000 even, 5,005 is also a Pierce extra too. So then, let's look at this again on the hourly. So we have 5,000-ish, so right around here. And really, that just makes a lot of sense with this higher low and this low. Now, this would make a lower low to this, but based on key low, key high, key low, key high, if key low happens to go to 5, it would be higher than this. So one more leg lower is what it's allowed to have, is another way of putting this, to not destroy this rebound bullish attempt. Okay. That will do it for that of Theta. I'll just quickly take a look at this on the monthly, correctionary phase looking relatively nice still in the weekly chart. Attempt to break out above and matching this level. Could we be in a sideways consolidation? It's possible, but again, until it breaks down below the lows like it has in here, and the longer term time frame is noticeably below 4,000 on this one, then this is most certainly not even looking to go in any bearish situation as of yet. And when you see, because it had the red candle down and it's been correcting a little bit within it, if you see it noticeably get above the highs, which is well over $6,000 on the Satoshi number, I'm going to be giving it a lot of benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, do I call this weak resistance at 73? I'd have to say the answer to that would be yes. All right, then. In the news, National Hockey League higher end player forward Evander Kane of the San Jose Sharks has reportedly filed for bankruptcy for that of $28-ish or so million. And it's kind of confusing because you think with risk reward management being job number one, and the amount of cryptocurrencies he would have, and the precious metals, gold and silver that we have, that, oh yeah, wait a second, he probably didn't do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't understand why not. If you are fortunate enough to be substantially better than the average person, and thus have the situation where you can equate to having zero debt, which when you have cash should not be hard, and you have all that extra cash, then you're in situations where you can manage and diversify funds. Hence, have cash, have precious metals, have things like cryptocurrencies, and all those kinds of things. But when you look at it, if you have, hypothetically, $5 million in cash, then 10% of that is 500,000. What's the difference of 5 million and 4.5? And probably it's like 5.8726, and you just bring it down to 5.2 or 5.3. And even then, do you even need to put 10% when you got a higher number? Maybe you want to go 5% in cryptocurrencies. And I've always thought with houses, this is just my thinking, how I believe in a house. If after paying for a house, no debt, paying for a house, you can have an equatable amount of precious metals, an equatable amount of the cryptocurrencies. You have equatable enough of fiat currencies still back left after that as well. You're furnished, of course. Your vehicles are paid off. All those types of things. Then you're in good position to live that kind of life. And then realize within risk-reward management, what can I afford to spend? When I get to certain sort of bankroll level, when do I go to a next lower tier category? You could say, oh, I'm an A plus, A level investment grade, and you go to A minus, B plus, B, or even rate it 8, 100, 80, 70, 60, 50, or however you want to do it. Then you get to the stage of what you're able to do within your personal spending when you get to certain levels. So I just have never, ever, ever understood. Now, mathematically, this is what I do understand. We have the National Hockey League. We got the association, which throws balls and hoops. Some people will call it football, although some people say, why does a foot matter? And technically speaking, you have to have 2 feet in bounds. I could make cases in a higher level where football name works. But you get all these different leagues and all these different athletes that have contracts of several millions of dollars, 8-figure plus over multiple year contracts. You know that the vast majority of them aren't going to get to those kind of problems. So you got to realize in a sample size of hundreds and thousands of people, there's always going to be a bad egg in the drawer that are going to be making just, why did you make those kinds of decisions? So I don't think when I'm watching my San Jose, well, they're not mine, when I'm watching the San Jose Sharks this season, I'll be watching a lot of hockey this year. It will not contain that of Evander Kane in the lineup. And that just and I've been even trying to just think who's the worst team in hockey coming into the year. And my debate was between Detroit and Ottawa, but I'm not going to have to put it at San Jose now. I think they are the worst team in the National Hockey League. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.